Hello, Gary Champion, Psychic Medium, once again with a video that I hope helps. Today's starts off with a question. Is free will an illusion? I hear a lot about free will lately. We do have free will, don't we? We do. We have free will. Well, I'm not so sure. The only correct answer for that is yes and no. Is it orb? They just love me on this thing. I don't know. Or it's you guys. You see that one just kind of curl in front of me. We're here. Free will, we tend to, I don't know if it's more prevalent in Americans than anything. You can't tell me what to do. That's what it's rooted in. Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to wear a mask. I want to walk in crowds and catch it and die. Okay. Free will. Well, to begin with, we don't have free will just in our society. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. It's an illusion. You can't drive anywhere you want. You can't drive any speed you want. You have to have a license. You have to have insurance and tags, and you have to pay taxes to fix the roads. And you can't opt out of these things. If you do, you get arrested or your car gets confiscated. I don't know if you know these, what do they call them? Citizens. I can't think what it is. Anyway, they think they're above the law. They don't need to have a. They got a long list of stuff they say when they get arrested about how you can't do this. Yeah, and they say I'm not saying this is right. Okay, well, then they get their windshield busted because they're driving without tags, without registration, without insurance, and they're all the time hitting people. So they take your car, they fine you. Eventually, you go to jail for it, especially if you hit somebody. So we don't have free will. And if you're married, you don't have free will. You mostly do what the other person wants you to do because you want them to feel comfortable in your presence. So free will. Free will is not a good description. It's partially correct. In our everyday lives, we have the right to go this way or go that way, and we choose. Those that make really, really good decisions consistently or have less free will because you're getting it from the other side. Your guides or angels or whatever you want to call them are saying, don't buy that stock. And if you don't buy it, you did well. Or buy this stock. This is a good one. And when I was in the stock business, I got those all the time. I'd hear, buy this, I'd buy it, it'd go up and I'd make money. It was just simple. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was profitable because I was listening. So I really didn't have free will. I was really going on what was being told, what I heard. Mediums, I don't think have free will. I think we do the job we're supposed to do, and I don't ask a lot of questions. I may be one of the few who does, but I don't ask a lot of questions. Asking questions means you have control of the situation. You begin, judging things. Wife just bought a new juicer. You read everything and you talk to people and you look at the price and all the other things and you make an educated guess. I don't do that. I don't do anything that way. I pick cantaloupes by looking at them, knowing that they're right. I don't thump them or anything. I just can look at them and tell if they're good or not. Or meat or anything else. Cars, houses. So I really don't have free will. The average person thinks that he has a good beat on things and he's making his own decisions and negotiating this and that, and he's really good at it. The truth is, most of the time he's listening to something else. If you've done something really, really successful, made a choice without really knowing why, you said, give me the red one. And it turned out really, really well, you're listening to the other side. They're always whispering and talking all the time. I hear it day and night. In my sleep, I'm talking to people who are not here. So yes, you have free will. Usually those who use their free will consistently screw up a lot. They can see what's coming and you can't. It's just that simple. People who have past are in a position to see past, present, and future. It's just kind of that simple. So you have free will. But tempered with the idea that you're also hearing things or feeling things. I don't feel that. That doesn't look right to me. It doesn't feel right. That's a big one. Men like that one. Doesn't feel right. Women are a little more subjective than that. They'll say, I'm not feeling it. Same thing. But driving down the road the other day, and I was going to look for a new car, and I drove past this lot, and there was one out front, and I said, that's my car. I went in and bought that car because I just knew, and it's been the most perfect little car. But I don't tend to make my own decisions, and it doesn't bother me because I never have. If you think you're out there wheeling and dealing and doing really well and failing time after time after time and blaming a dark cloud over your head or the sun got in your eyes or something, you just can't pick worth crap. Your instinctive part is you shut it down. Better off to let somebody else pick. And people will do that. I was living, where was I living? Somewhere way out west, about the end of the world. And these guys, I can't tell you who they are because they wouldn't appreciate it. Because it's underground. No one's supposed to know what they're doing. Anyway, they would go to a casino across the state line. And I went with them. And they're not supposed to gamble or drink or smoke or do any of that stuff, but that's all they did the whole time they were there. Sort of a release thing, a release mechanism. They can be like everybody else for a short period of time. And a guy I knew really well, he handed me some dice, said, throw the dice. And I threw like 20-something times, and he just racked up the money. I didn't know what I was throwing. I had no idea. It was all from the other side. He'd say, what do we need? And I'd say, what do we need? And he'd say, we need an 8. And I'd throw an 8. Or I don't know the technology part of dice, but everybody was making money off of me. And it was a lot of fun, but he knew that he wasn't doing it, that he couldn't get them to do what he wanted them to do, and he just figured I could because I was an oddball. Really oddball. And he got some good money out of it. Well, that's listening to the other side. And how you throw dice, believe it or not, has a lot to do with the outcome. And they didn't want me to touch them after a while. You pick them up and throw them. Don't rub them in your hand. Don't blow air out. Just throw the dice because it was getting so ridiculous. So I'd pick them up, shake them once, and chuck them down the thing and hit the backboard and come out, and we'd win. So totally, you couldn't regulate it. You couldn't depend on it. And after 20-something straight throws and everybody winning, the whole table was full of money, I threw one that didn't. And that was the end of that. That was the end of my run. I never did it again. But listening to the other side is, everybody can, most people I've talked to, they get knowings or they get a feeling that something is right. That's good as gold. you can carry that to the bank most of the time. If it's that kind of feeling inside that you get, that's mediumship work. And everybody does a little bit of it. And the ones that listen to it all the time are the ones that are doing really well. The ones that don't flounder around. They might have a good hit here and a couple of bad things and a good hit. Random success. That's what I call that. So, is free will a myth? Yeah. Yeah, it's a myth. We don't have total free will because we rely upon the other side for making our decisions. That's why people want time to think about something. They're gonna buy a house. They want to go home and think about it, and they sit around and they think. Maybe don't talk at all. Just think about it. They say, I think that's going to be good. I think that house is going to be just right for us. I have a feeling. And they buy the house, and it works out for them. It's really nice. I'm just saying total free will doesn't exist, just like total democracy doesn't exist. We have a lot of socialist programs that run in our country. And if we didn't have them, we'd be in a lot worse shape than we are. We got Social Security was added on during the Depression, so many people couldn't eat, really living on the streets, really hard times. They passed that as a safety net. People get to a certain age, no one will hire you, and you're not capable anymore. So everything kind of goes. I'm in that category. So I must say the older it gets, the easier it is to rely upon messages from the other side. They don't have to be a big flag drop down from the sky and hang there saying, go down to Costco and get that chicken for $5. You don't need a sign, but a feeling. It's just as good and accurate. You listen to your free will, you can end up in a mess. Well, it's got 800 horsepower. I need that. No, you don't. Can't drive anywhere in the country with 800 horsepower and get it up to anywhere near whatever it's supposed to do. Dangerous? Yeah, deadly. Unless you're an experienced racer on a track, you don't need to own that car. Why they're selling them, I have no idea, because people will buy them. That's why they're selling them. So people's instincts is what gets them by, plus a little free will in there. But there's no such thing as total free will. Although I'm going to get a lot of bad comments on this, but it's just not true. I know because I hear stuff all day long. And they're saying right now it's time to wind this up. See, it pays to listen. So I hope I've helped. Feel free to disregard this video if it offends you in any way. I don't care if it offends you. That's why I can't live worrying about what I'm doing, whether it offends somebody. But if it offends you, I'm okay with that. I don't want to hear about it, but I don't care if it offends you or not. It's what I see. Without communication from the other side, I don't know what we'd do. We probably would never have built the first hut to live in. Get some reeds, build a hut, stay out of the rain. Anyway, free will, yeah, but not total free will. No one has total free will. Wrap it up. See, this is something I was going to say. October the 2nd, free readings. October 16th, free healing. And I think we're going to do horoscopes on the 1st, so a lot of stuff. As always, no fear, no regret, no anger, and thanks for watching.